2 News begins now.
Thank you for joining us on KREM 2 Plus. I'm Tim Pham. This is your KREM 2 News Week in Review. Join us as we take a closer look at some of the biggest stories in the inland Northwest this past week.
Matt and Tina moved back home to Washington 3 months ago to live with their daughter and son-in-law. They packed everything they own in this trailer. After the Columbia Basin fire, though, this family lost everything. Losing your home to a fire is a reality no one can prepare for.
This was our trailer.
This was supposed to be home sweet home.
As you can see, all the stuff that's left over is all of our belongings.
Matt Oxiger is now living through an unimaginable reality.
I have to go. My home's on fire. I gotta go.
He was working when the Columbia Basin fire raced through Tyler on Friday. He and his wife Tina just moved back here from Colorado in this trailer with everything they owned. Pieces of his past,
Grandma's China.
Now gone.
Something that was irreplaceable.
Reality begins to set in, and the road ahead looks daunting.
I gotta feed our 4 dogs and Tina, and this pretty much took everything. And I don't know how I'm gonna cover her meds because we gotta replace all of those.
All I could do is cry.
The couple was living on their son-in-law's property.
It's amazing to see how fast something can just poof.
Just last year, Jonathan Galpin lost his mother to cancer, and now he's lost all tangible memories of her.
It is kind of difficult to stomach and to think about all of my mom's stuff that was in here that I wanted, that she told me I could keep, that she wanted me to have, some of her baby pictures, some of my baby pictures.
The family has hope. A friend is raising money to lift their spirits and provide for their needs.
It'll help get us my medications, help us try to get another RV or travel trailer.
While this may be their reality now, they know it won't be for long.
This ain't nothing new. We'll get through it.
In Tyler, Amanda Rowley, KREM 2 News.
Remains of the fire are still not extinguished.
We knew it was a possibility at some point for anywhere that you are, just never thought it would happen to us.
Melissa Sanborn's owned Coulter's Creek Winery in Julietta for nearly 18 years and has never had a fire hit her so close to home.
The fires kind of started building and coming this way as the winds picked up. It got really windy. And our staff let us know around noon, started sending us photos and letting us know what was going on.
The Gwen Fire, located south of Julietta, burned an estimated 28,000 acres according to the Idaho Department of Lands so far, and is still working to be fully contained, destroying Sanborn's winery to a point of no return.
The whole thing's going to have to be demoed. The fire started on the south end of the building, what we think is the production area and our crush pad.
Burned up wine bottles, barrels, and a couple of cars were taken out from the fire, destroying an estimated 20,000 gallons of product, as Sanborn waits to meet with her insurers to assess. A difficult meeting as she's planning next steps.
Our biggest thing is we're going to sell what little inventory we have left up in our tasting room in Moscow. All those funds will go directly to our employees.
Employees who are looking for new work as the winery itself has to shut down for good.
There's no wine to sell. We'll sell what little we have left and try to generate enough to keep them funded for as long as possible.
For the Sanborn family, they say they have the resources to move on from the winery and are using what they have left to give back, what the winery's been doing since before the fire.
We've been down here digesting this for a few days. It's like we need to just slow down and take this day by day.
In Julietta, Connor McAvoy, KREM 2 News.
While flying a drone is usually fun, it actually kept firefighters from doing their job this weekend.
Time's a precious thing for firefighters.
It's in a fast-moving wildfire, especially one that's wind-driven. Seconds count.
And they put those seconds to good use, with crews on the ground and air support swooping in from above. But according to Ryan Roderick with the Washington State Department of Natural Resources, as crews tackled Sunday's fire by US 195 and Mullen Hill Road, air support stayed on the ground even longer thanks to one of these. DNR says a private drone delayed their use of air support.
We cannot fly when drones are in the airspace. Thankfully, it was just a very brief delay until that drone was able to be cleared, but in wildfire, seconds matter.
Roderick says having a drone in the air at the same time as their planes and helicopters is a safety issue.
There is the potential that that drone could impact into one of the engines. It is a very, very serious safety concern.
One they're seeing more and more often. An unfortunate development, according to Roderick, considering how efficient air units are with fighting fires.
It's extremely successful when we put air on these fires. We know that for wildfires, if we can keep them to 10 acres or less, the chances of them turning into a catastrophic wildfire decrease exponentially.
So when a fire starts, DNR says one of the best things the public can do is leave the drone at home.
It is July. We still have a lot of fire season left.
The sign outside Faithful Canine Trainer in Coeur d'Alene tells part of the story. The dog kennel and training facility is closed, and the city has also pulled its business license after a dog died of heat. The loss is still surreal.
Definitely a part of the family.
For Tiffany Price Eddington's family.
She was still really vibrant. She was still very much alive.
Thursday, July 18th, she says they dropped off their 3 dogs at Faithful Canine Trainer, same as they often did over a weekend. By Saturday, they picked up the dogs, including 13-year-old Bellatrix, but something was wrong.
She was in really bad condition. She was past panting. She was already labored breathing. She could barely walk. I just knew she was already starting to pass.
Bellatrix passed at home hours later, surrounded by her people. Tiffany called the vet, who told her to call police. Animal Control visited the kennel July 24th and found some concerning issues, according to Coeur d'Alene police. The kennel was shut down the next day after police say a repeat visit showed those issues hadn't been fixed.
Come to find out that it was lack of water and food.
KREM 2 could not reach the kennel owners for comment.
He lost a baseball game that day, so of course she was comforting him. Whenever he was sad or upset, she was always there for him. Yeah, that was his dog.
For Tiffany, the loss is even harder because the family's spontaneous trip was to say goodbye to her children's dying grandmother.
Had her for 13 years. He's only 17, so he doesn't have a memory without her. I mean, that was his Belle. And for the boys to lose their grandma that Friday and then their dog the next day, it's just been really hard.
Photos and memories, all that can comfort now.
Sorry.
And faith that justice may come too.
Didn't understand. I still don't understand how they could neglect a dog that's beyond panting. I don't understand.
Criminal charges are possible as Animal Control continues investigating. Shannon Mowdy, KREM 2 News. We obtained a 16-page police report that details not only a lack of water and shelter from the scorching July temperatures, Coeur d'Alene Animal Control also found dirty, packed conditions inside. And as we learned from the report, it is not the first time Animal Control has dealt with allegations of animal abuse at this facility. I am very familiar with Faithful Canine, one Animal Control officer wrote in the report, based on prior animal abuse-related calls. The city of Coeur d'Alene revoked the facility's license a day after Animal Control first visited. The report details dogs left unsupervised outside in the heat, where the ground temperature reached 119 degrees in some places. Some dogs were digging holes to find cooler ground. Inside and out, Animal Control found empty water bowls, and some animals appeared to already be suffering heat exhaustion. Now, Animal Control recommended about a half-dozen charges for employees of Faithful Canine, and I did confirm with Coeur d'Alene Police today that charges have not yet been filed. But the report says that some conditions showed a lack of care, which one Animal Control officer said led to Bellatrix's death. Shannon Mowdy, KREM 2 News.
Well, the fire here at Squeaky's Car Wash is just one of several that Spokane police are investigating as arson here on Spokane's South Hill. You can see today it is still taped off and closed. But just a few days ago, Spokane police spotted a teen just down the street here at Wendy's. Someone who matched the description of a suspect allegedly involved in the car wash fire here just a few days prior.
Spokane police are putting in the work to find the suspects responsible for the string of fires started on the South Hill.
I think it's sad that it happened.
One of those fires temporarily closed Squeaky's Car Wash at the McQuick Mart. The owners say the fire caused an estimated $160,000 in damage. The Spokane Fire Department shared nearby surveillance video. It shows two suspects lighting a fire just outside the car wash, then walked away.
Yeah, I am a little bummed that it's this one.
Court documents say investigators determined one of the suspects wore a light-colored top, dark-colored pants, had shaggy hair, and possibly wearing glasses. 3 days ago, police spotted a teen boy walking through the Wendy's parking lot, shining a flashlight around. The officers say he looked like the suspect at the car wash fire and was wearing the same pants. Court documents say the officers arrested the 13-year-old boy at a nearby apartment. They say the teen's father confirmed he was wearing the same pants as the suspect in the surveillance video.
And I wish that it would just stop. I wish, parents would know where their kids are, so things like this wouldn't happen.
Car wash patrons are hopeful this arrest brings a stop to any more fires on the South Hill.
If it's kids, maybe they can straighten them out and they won't do it anymore, I hope.
The co-owner of Squeaky's Car Wash says they plan to put in a new car wash machine. This week, crews will clean up the fire damage. Going forward, they are optimistic the new car wash will reopen in about 2 months.
The 13-year-old arrested in connection to the car wash fire is facing arson and malicious mischief charges. Now, SPD does say that they could face additional charges as this investigation continues. Now, police are also investigating an 11-year-old's involvement in these fires. We'll keep you posted as we learn more. Amanda Rowley, KREM 2 News.
Well, a self-described old hippie kid, Woody McEvers says he is not a political guy, but he does want to make local government more accessible to the people of Coeur d'Alene. Having served inside City Hall since 2002, Woody McEvers knows a thing or two.
That's why this happened to me. Probably, you get to work with 22 years, 3 different mayors.
And he'll soon be the next mayor of Coeur d'Alene, taking over the remainder of Jim Hammond's term when he retires. McEvers may not have aspired to the role. His passion for public service rivaled only by his love for serving up all-day breakfast.
I'm a restaurant guy. I work with the public every day, make sure your eggs are cooked right, wash your dishes.
Owning Rustler's Roost for 41 years, McEvers is a back-of-house guy. So when he takes the city's top seat next month, he'll bring his customer service.
Getting to know people and their concerns and try and fix things.
McEvers has championed government transparency, helping create the local government cable channel. He also pushed for upgrades to McEwen Park, despite the threat of being recalled. What does he plan to do with his time as mayor?
I don't have the long-term vision. I like to find out what everybody else thinks. I'm not the boss.
You're a collaborative guy.
Totally, yeah, I'm not the king of the forest, I'm one of the gang.
He says he just wants better communication, telling the stories of government so taxpayers understand what, why, and how their city runs. And speaking of running the city, will he run for the job long term?
I'm just not good at that politics stuff, and I don't plan on getting good at it.
So for a little while, he'll bring service with a smile.
That's why maybe 1.5 years is good. If I survive it, right?
And McEvers will officially take over Hammond's term on September 1st, and he will be in the mayor's seat until January 2026. Shannon Mowdy, KREM 2 News.
At the end of
August, interim police chief Justin Lundgren will be leaving the Spokane Police Department. But he won't be going too far. He's actually headed just down the hall to a new position at the Spokane County Sheriff's Office. Interim Chief Justin Lundgren's last day with the Spokane Police Department is on Monday. He says it's a bittersweet goodbye after wearing this badge for 27 years.
I'm excited for the new opportunity, but I obviously, this has been family for so long. It comes with mixed emotions.
He temporarily stepped into the department's top job 7 months ago, time in which he says flew by.
We've had challenges. There have been this budget situation that the city is probably the largest of my career.
Although he's stepping away amid these major budget discussions, Lundgren is confident the department will get through it.
We've got a lot of really skilled people that are right here. I'm not leaving the area. I'm not leaving the career field.
You didn't apply for the permanent chief position. Why was that?
The biggest thing is I've got a young family. I've got kids. I love law enforcement. I love being in a leadership role, and so I'll still be able to do that. But I think it's going to be a little bit better balance where I can spend more time with family.
Lundgren's new job with the Spokane County Sheriff's Office will be a patrol commander of the unincorporated patrol division.
I've got a lot to learn, and I'll do my best to be a quick study.
Lundgren may be giving up his police badge, but he'll still be here serving the community under a new one. Amanda Rowley, KREM 2 News.
Well, the Supreme Court allowed cities and counties to make decisions on people sleeping or camping on public property. And the ACLU of Washington's lawsuit alleges that the city of Spokane enforcing ordinances on the matter is unconstitutional.
Free water.
Dave Bilsland is volunteering this week with Cool Spokane, offering free water to anyone passing by City Hall on days that are 95 degrees or higher.
It's an important thing to do. It's about taking care of everybody.
Taking care of everybody, with Bilsland saying a big part of Spokane's population needing it the most are those without homes.
Most people do not choose to be homeless.
Last November, voters passed an ordinance that prohibited unauthorized camping on public property. The ACLU of Washington filed the suit on Thursday, saying the law functionally criminalizes homelessness, something Bilsland agrees with.
Being poor is not illegal.
The lawsuit argues against 3 city ordinances, making camping and sleeping on public property a misdemeanor, sitting or lying on public property between 6 a.m. to 12 a.m. a misdemeanor, and the city having the ability to remove, destroy, or hold on to the property of people who have been found camping.
We know that criminalizing homelessness does not work.
Councilman Paul Dillon for Spokane District 2 says the ordinances in place only work effectively if those who respond aren't always law enforcement.
What we really need to move towards, I think, is this alternative response system where we do have trained medical workers.
Something Councilman Dillon says the city needs funding for. But in the meantime, Bilsland supports the lawsuit.
When I've seen these ordinances, this type of ordinance, all it does is cause people heartache.
As he helps the population get cooler. Councilman Dillon did not comment on the lawsuit, as he and other council members have not gotten the paperwork yet. This is an ongoing story we're going to continue to follow as it develops. In Spokane, Connor McAvoy, KREM 2 News.
Spokane's Parks Department says that some parks may start to look a little more dry than others as they balance preserving public green space with conserving water. With the Spokane River running below 1,000 cubic feet per second, the city is saving water everywhere it can, including the 4,000 acres of parkland.
We really restrict it down to focusing on some of those higher use areas.
Fiona Dixon with the Parks Department says they're balancing the upkeep of public green space with conserving water. That means crews are up early to manually water at 6 a.m.
Our crews start very early in the morning and trying to wrap up their watering by 10 a.m. in those parks that do require manual watering.
Parks has also invested in more long-term water conservation.
For the past 5 years, Parks and Rec has completed a handful of projects that save more than 70 million gallons of water a year. That includes upgrading manual outdated systems to more modern irrigation systems.
The irrigation system at Coeur d'Alene Park is being upgraded right now to save water long after summer's over. Now, while the Parks Department maintains that 4,000 acres of parks land, Dixon says that the whole department is responsible for only a little more than 3% of the city's entire water consumption. Shannon Mowdy, KREM 2 News.
You never know what someone's going to look at and connect to. Daniel Lopez. That's why the art is so powerful, and especially I think having that light in that dark place is just it's just so good. Even the homeless, and addicts, when they come walk through, I hope that they see something that maybe gives them a little hope in life. I was an addict for a long time, and I just needed a little hope. I just needed a little hope in life, and the art really helped me find that.
Angela Chapman, community manager of the community and Serenat buildings. When I started this job a year ago, I was tasked with a few different things, but the thing that stood out to me was put murals on the backs of the buildings. So we partnered with Spokane Arts to choose 5 artists for the backs of all 5 of our buildings, with the hopes to change it every 2 years.
My name is Danielle Davis. I think it's great. I'm one of the less experienced mural artists, so it's been awesome to connect with Daniel and some of the others and just learn from them and just see the different pieces that they all created and how they kind of flow together, and I think there's something here for everybody. I just wanted to make something really fun and bright and playful and engaging.
There's so much beauty and strength in the Chicano culture, and me being able to share that through my art is I know I might look like this, but this is my little lion man suit, and I'm just taking it off so that I could just be the guy I'm supposed to be. So if people can just look a little bit deeper than the surface and see the heart, it takes a little bit of time to do that. That's where the connection starts to really come and change things. Hopefully you see connection and love and beauty in this mural.
Thank you for joining us on KREM 2 Plus for a look at some of the biggest news stories of the past week. For the most current news throughout the weekend, you can watch our latest newscast here on KREM 2 Plus. Just look for it at the bottom of the navigation menu. I'm Tim Pham. Thanks for watching.